All right, it is 7 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
Verified on Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. We're gonna open the regular board meeting. Do a roll call, please.
Yep, I have trustees Chris Sample,
Here.
John Calvert, Jen Christensen. Here. Bill Motisi,
Here.
Nathan Mas.
Here.
Patrick Yarlam,
Here.
President Rick Worm.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabany. Here. I clerk Sandy Mazen here, Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here.
And we have Parks Lead Brody Cook here.
Here. All right, please rise and say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Tonight on the consent agenda, we have two items. The May 14th, number one is May 14th, 2024, regular board minutes. And number two is the bills payable dated June 11th, 2024 for a total of $60,405.72. At this time, we and the trustees wish to remove any of those two items for further discussion. Now I'll entertain the first motion.
I move to place agenda items 1 and 2 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as a consent agenda.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to include items 1 and 2 together. To place items 1 and 2 together inclusively as a consent agenda. Nathan, will you second it?
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Still don't speak. Entertain the second motion.
I move to adopt items 1 and 2 inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedures specified in the Illinois Municipal Code.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to adopt items 1 and 2 inclusively as a consent agenda. Nathan seconds. Roll call, please.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
702. We don't need item D. Want to report to officers, anybody have any questions on the water report?
Well, if anybody would like to know why it's not in the board packet, you'll see it again at the admin meeting.
Well, there's no questions, there isn't.
Pretty basic at that point. Utility bill drawing.
Simple reading.
You want to draw?
Sure.
Outstanding.
Somebody's gonna get
Can't
20.
claim bias.
I am going to pick somebody with a name I can't pronounce.
Oh, don't pronounce the name anybody. We only do addresses.
All right, so it is this green ticket.
One is a good thing. You would love saying it. 144 Prairie Moon Drive.
All right,
What? Oh, Prairie Moon, okay. Yes.
What was the address?
144.
All right.
They pay their bill on time every month. I love it.
Now they get a discount.
Yep.
Congratulations.
We're gonna eat it up next month.
Item C, possible approval and discussion of resolution number 24-22. Mike White just got the numbers to us from Rock River Energy for the electrical aggregation. I signed the document to lock us in for the next
2 years.
Was it 2?
21 months.
I don't know, it was 2 or 3 at this point.
It was the longest thing I've read in a
It's-
while.
It is higher than what we're currently paying. But it's not as high as they're projecting ComEd's going to go. They say ComEd's moving north.
I do believe he said something about it only being, the new rate's only like 1 cent below ComEd, or it's not, it's pretty comparable to ComEd. but
What
with
is the new rate?
projection that ComEd will
Right.
keep going.
I can't make.
What is it?
Doesn't matter, 'cause it's
7.79
What is it now?
7.79 cents per kilowatt hour.
Now,
6.6.
Six something.
6.41.
I don't know, you
Like that.
80 some a month.
All you're doing is ratifying what I signed.
So I make a motion to approve resolution number 24-22, a resolution ratifying master power supply agreement by and between MC Squared Energy Services LLC and the Village of Davis Junction for a residential and qualified small business electrical aggregation program.
Second.
Chris makes a motion to approve resolution number 24-22. Nathan seconds. Any discussion on that resolution?
You know, that was the longest contract. We've had them before. I don't remember it being that long. Were they always that long?
2 year?
No, no, not the amount of.
The
time,
length
of it?
actual
The length of the contract.
Oh my God, yeah, it just kept going on. I looked up ComEd's rate. I didn't think it was 7.7 right now. Not that it matters. You can opt in or opt out, but you're locked in for a 2-year term. So at whatever, the 7.79 cents per kilowatt hour.
Well, they gotta notify us, so people can opt out and,
They have in the past. I just
Yeah.
assumed
Yeah,
that.
it's still same thing. You'll be notified, you'll get a letter in the mail and then you'll be able to opt out.
Yeah, there's no penalty or
Nope.
I want to opt out at any time. I read that in the agreement, so.
The Sunrun guys were, when they came and looked at my bill, were really impressed with that, what we had to work down to. So, I mean, the rate is very competitive with all the areas, so.
I just want people who know who get it to know that,
Yeah.
this is probably the best price you could get, Rick.
Pretty close.
It's the best price they could get us.
if you opt to go in and then you wanna,
You
opt
don't
out,
have to do anything.
I understand that. But there is a fee that is charged, but it's,
Delivery fee?
No, you're only gonna get charged for usage that you've got there. There's no penalty. But cause I read that thing too. It's a long thing. And and I don't know if all the people who were gonna sign up know that they will pay some extra money to opt out if they do opt in.
No, there's no fee to opt out.
No, if you opt out, there's nothing. You don't worry about it. But if you're in and then you wanna get out of it, you can do that, But they've got two things in there that, it's not really a penalty, but it's a usage, fee that you might get assessed. Do you recall reading that there? You'll see it.
I'm not
You'll
sure
see
what
it
you're
in there.
talking
Yeah,
about, so.
yeah,
I don't recall. I mean, there's fees for everything. Look at your.
Yeah.
bill.
yeah.
My last bill was $204 and the actual energy only cost 85. All the rest were delivery fees.
Mostly
Yeah.
delivery fees, right?
Well, it was all
Right.
kinds of
Yeah.
recovery fees. It's a lot.
Clean energy fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When ComEd isn't scolding me for using too much.
Because of fee too.
Which is ironic.
It does state on the price sheet that the termination fees for residential and our small business are both $0.
Zero, right?
Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's.
you
it
can leave whenever
clearly
you
states
want,
that on the
pay more
exhibit.
somewhere else if you feel.
In which case it'd be less.
Well, it's it's up to you. You might be able to get a lower rate. if you wanna
September
do it for a year.
2020.
Maybe.
That's no guarantee going forward. It's up to all residents to decide what's best
Right.
for them.
And
This
currently,
is just a convenient option for an aggregate amount where you get a lower rate.
ComEd is currently 6.733.
Yeah.
This doesn't take place till September.
Right.
And they were 7.9 in May, so ComEd's actually going down, so they must be projecting they're going to.
Well, their delivery fees are going up, I guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
They got it before it come down. They usually just pass along what they pay for it. ComEd's not a producer.
No.
No.
Just a supplier.
Exelon or Constellation, whomever, they're actually provide the electricity. ComEd just delivers.
And
That's the bigger part of the bill, is the
Mhm.
delivery.
I know.
the opt-out letters that you had asked about, those should have been mailed sometime last week or this week. I've already seen, I've already seen the draft of them, so I know that they're coming.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes,
All right, move on, Sandy.
I don't have anything.
Brenda?
I have nothing. Oh, except for the auditors coming this week. And if you got, you're gonna get letters. from them?
Already mailed it in. Brenda.
All right, awesome.
Wait, was I the first one in? Mine was-
I don't know,
Wait,
don't tell me,
Oh.
goes to them. So,
I was quick.
all right. Some, those who have not, fill out one of the letters and send them back in. So,
All right, well, committees and Jen.
Okay, we're gonna start talking about our 150th birthday for next year, so we're almost a year from now. One of the things that came up when, the couple of meetings that we've had is if, cause I just wanna know this before I start booking and talking to people about stuff, is we have, right now, we say it's June 14th of 2025. Do we wanna stick with a 1-day event, or do we wanna have a 2-day event? What are people's thoughts?
What did we say we were spending?
We did not.
We have not,
We budgeted the money for this year, but we haven't.
for like, yeah, we budgeted
budgeted
some for
for
down
this fiscal
payments.
year.
And stuff like that, but we're hoping a plan that we've discussed is to ask for sponsors. So hopefully that will cut a lot of our costs down, but before I can like start at like sending feelers out with people, I need to know if people want to do a 1-day event or a 2-day event.
Cost wise, 1 day would be great. I mean, the second day always adds on. And if you do it, if it's Saturday, Sunday, I don't know how much you're gonna get on Sunday, like traffic
Right.
wise. Cause it doesn't seem like Sunday seems to fall flat, so. An event, so, I mean, if we did like a Friday evening and then a.
And that was gonna be my next thing. If we stuck with Saturday, do we wanna start with some type of a
Kickoff Friday.
music kickoff or something on a Friday night?
That probably wouldn't be bad.
I don't hate that idea. Again, I mean, I guess it all comes down to. Cost. I
Right.
mean, or what we
So we
do,
have
well, how much of it is coming out of our pocket or how much sponsorship? we
I
actually
think as we get going along, we start to see what we can get, we might wanna, we can leave it open to expanding into Sunday if we get a lot
Right.
more stuff coming through. Like,
And I'm-
start with the 1 day.
Right, and I know I'm sure if we start talking to people, once I start talking to people and trying to, book people or talk about activities, they're gonna be like, hey.
Right.
That's where wanna make sure we.
Well, in the past, getting sponsorships wasn't always a very lucrative business for the village. It seemed like we always were bailing out the weekend in the park who was supposed to be run on sponsorship. So I'll believe those large amounts when I see them. So 1 day with me, I think would be fine.
I think with the new park and the sponsorship that we're getting in the park, that is, I think we might have a much better chance of finding that sponsorship and relationships that we've created over time than what we had 20 years ago. I'm hoping anyways. It seems like it's moved in the right direction
Yeah, but
from then.
what do you call sponsorship if you spend $50,000 on an event and somebody gives you $200? That's not even.
Every penny
It's a very
helps.
small.
I mean, it's not the greatest amount, but every.
Hold on, John. You clearly don't remember how much money Ken Deal was able to rustle up in a short amount of time when we needed a donation to cover the cost of some statue that needed to be covered real quick. He had no problem coming up with large donations. I think we'll be fine.
The statue was ridiculously over the original
But
budget.
don't you
So
remember how quickly Ken got those large donations?
we'll see.
We'll be fine.
So you guys wanna just start with 1 day and then we'll see where it goes from there?
Yeah, if you fill that up, if we fill that up relatively quickly, then we can start looking at either expanding it to a second day
Okay.
or to the night before.
I did verify. I blocked off the park for the entire weekend, so there are no tournaments or anything.
Well, cause I know like
right
some of
now.
the events we talked about, and if we end up having. Some of them carry, like if we can get those to go on, they may end up going the next day, we'll see.
That next day is also Father's Day. That Sunday of that weekend is
Okay.
Father's Day.
Okay.
And if it matters, that Saturday is Flag Day.
And we'll have the flags up.
Those are good.
So that was the weekend of the 14th. The 14th is what we're looking at as of now.
Yes, June 14th, 2025.
That's too far away from me.
That's why I put it in my phone now.
It was for me, but now it's like there.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the, follow-up for the garage sales and the electronics recycling. I wasn't here for electronic recycling, but I heard good things. It was busy at the beginning.
I think Chris might have been there with
I was,
Fergie.
I was there for the first 2 hours and it was busy for the first 40 minutes
Yeah.
to an hour.
Yep.
You know, yeah, we got quite a bit of stuff. A lot of TV.
Always.
You think people would run out of TVs?
Never.
Not because they break.
They don't last long.
Wow.
They don't last long.
You been through Best Buy recently?
I just hope they run out of tank.
It's like everything TVs there.
There was some big heavy ones.
I was driving around and there was a lot of people out for garage sales. And I think there was a lot more garage sales, it seemed like.
Somebody was really nice on the DJ Rance, actually plotted,
Yeah. I
made a
see
map of
that.
where they all were.
And they were using it too. That was awesome. So
And then we have coming up our July 3rd fireworks and our movie in the park.
The movie in the park on the,
No,
okay. 'Cause
No, it's not.
somebody asked me and I said,
I am
I don't
still,
remember.
I
You
am,
don't have a
I'm in struggling to get our screen provider to get me a contract.
oh no, still struggling.
Struggling since the beginning of March. We're on for him to be here, but trying to get him to give us a contract is another thing.
he may just show up for all we know,
I know, well,
but I can't advertise it.
I know, and that's what I told him. That's what I said yesterday, when I finally, I was like, listen, I can't advertise for an event that I don't know if it's gonna take place. Sorry, I'm like, I'm about ready to drive down there. But he told me he'd get it to me by 8:30 tonight, so we'll see. I know, he's been telling me, he's been getting it to me since May.
Migration,
What?
migration.
If we have it,
Hopefully. Migration is the movie. That's all I have, and nobody has any questions.
Chris,
we don't have any emergency expenditures that I know, so
it's a good thing.
nothing.
Bill,
Let's see, nothing that I'm aware of at this point.
Nathan,
I want to let Brody start off with the A discussion about possible approval of compensation increase for Noah.
You want to make a motion in second first?
So you just want to make a motion for approval of compensation increase for Noah Claren due to acquisition of license
For $1 per hour.
for $1 per hour.
second.
Yeah.
Nathan makes a motion to approve the compensation increase for Noah Claren for $1 an hour. Patrick seconds.
Now Brody.
Now you can discuss.
Now it's on you. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, I mean,
jumped the gun.
Noah was always super willing. He's been there for 2 years now. He's been a great employee. Just all around, anything asked, make sure it gets done. I can trust him. He went and acquired his food manager license, worked around his school schedule and everything, still going to high school, and made it work. Went and took the course up in Rock Valley. So, I mean, there's plenty of reasons why he deserves it.
And I don't think that we can stress enough. I say we as a part-time parks person with Fergie and Brody and Brenda, I don't think we can stress enough how important it was to get somebody with a food manager's license, and the fact that he went above and beyond it spoke volumes. Like, he was willing to rearrange his school schedule to make sure that we got that done, because we were in a spot we needed it.
We needed the extra body.
We did. Otherwise, it was gonna require Brody be at every time the concessions was open. So now we have a second person
Well, you didn't want to be there.
every time.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Nathan,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill, John.
Yes.
That's the 719. Still yours.
So we got a discussion still on this?
How are you gonna do this as each one individually?
For what?
I don't know, the approval of the.
No, we're not approving them at all.
Just says
We're
update.
discussing
So-
an update.
As,
Last
If I-
time we left it was a discussion with you. You were gonna read through them and then
I did, but
reconvene.
so the way the process works is you guys have to be okay with the changes, then they have to get sent downstate. And the state of Illinois has to approve our changes. They have 30 days in which to do so. Then it comes back and then you guys will see them in a resolution to approve. But we need to know that you guys are okay with what's being sent downstate.
You have any questions?
Yes, you know, I am always ready, willing, and able to participate in the
It's not like-
ordinance for the codes, okay? You know, please call, get a hold of me. I wanted,
But we haven't had
I-
a meeting since our last one, so you haven't been
Pardon-
left out on it.
pardon me?
I haven't had a meeting with them since our last 2 weeks, our discussion 2 weeks ago about including you.
Yeah.
So as of the last 2 weeks, you've been completely kept in the loop.
Okay,
I
well,
can't go back and fix all the other stuff.
I certainly
As of right
appreciate
now,
it, yeah.
so do you have any questions on the changes?
Yeah, well, I wasn't there for the changes, but my question, is simply this, when you make these insertions and or deletions, whichever going on, how did this come about? Where did you have, who's, guiding you on this?
The guidance
did you
came
go
from
about-
BNF, Building Code, Construction Company that we use for our ordinances. Are you familiar with them?
Yes,
Okay.
it's,
So we use them, they're the ones that guided, he's the one that was very loud. They're the one that guided us, they're the ones that went through and told us the new updates and where the state is looking at keeping us current with.
mhm.
He made some recommendations and then I made some recommendations and together we kind of came down with, we met with Todd Seaworth, the fire chief here in town.
Yeah.
So that way he was clear on those choices and the things that were in there and we kept him in the loop. So that way, if there's anything that he needed or wanted changed for the fire service, that we were in cohesiveness with them too. Past that, pretty much we are adopting the most current, laws that are out there or the recommendations that are out there.
Yes,
Which the state, if we don't do that, eventually is going to do it for us. So
And yes, they've made-
when we do it this way, we have the control in our hands to adjust and change the things we need to change or that would fit our needs as a village better, which if you would have noticed the 2 weeks ago would have been in your board packet and then again, obviously back in your board packet again this time.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's any other questions that are things that you're looking for that I'm missing here, but
Hold
well,
on a second, Bill.
I-
One second. The attorney said we just had to address it. He didn't say we had to adopt.
we don't
Yeah,
have to.
well-
Right, he said that in our last
Right.
meeting.
You can, we don't have to adopt
The
in its
state
full,
just
we
wanted
have
to-
amended some
Right,
of
but the
the,
state just wanted to see you address it, not adopt them.
No,
That's what he said in the meeting.
no,
Mark said that.
I just listened to the tape earlier today, so I can.
Okay, that was my
confirm
interpretation. Go ahead.
Yes, I agree with that. I could see where that came from. We have to do something or the state will do it for us. So
Correct.
you're right, we don't have to adopt anything, but then the state will determine whether or not they deem that we're compliant enough or will then force us to go to
It-
the
it-
2014.
It matters not. If the state wants to enact a law, they can do that.
They did.
With, right, I understand, but we wouldn't need to do anything if they actually had a law that told us we had to use the 2021 building codes.
Yes, so you're right. We can choose
Right.
nothing and then the state will tell us what to do.
But they could also,
And they
they
can
could
also tell us what
to-
we're doing.
No, I understand.
They
that,
can
also
and
tell us
I'm
to
not
do the stuff we don't want.
suggesting that, but the state's not gonna tell you that you have to adopt the International Residential Code for 1 and 2 family dwellings.
You do have to adopt
And-
a version of it.
You may have to adopt a version of a residential code, but they're not gonna tell you you have to do an international.
Yes, you do. So that is the standard. The
Why would
standard-
you have to?
These-
Why are we doing anything? 'Cause they just do it for us.
Yeah, the IBC is the standard. So those are the standards of building codes across the nation is the IBC, the International Building
And
Codes. Or
the reason we're doing something is to keep some of the control in our things. There's about 4 or 5 different ordinances that we have out there right now that we have adjusted to fit our needs and the village's needs and their residents' needs a little
Can
bit
you
better.
point this one of those out so I can understand what?
The
Because otherwise it seems like we're doing.
fire suppression is the perfect one. We're choosing
Oh, I
not
see.
to have.
That's good enough. for me.
Okay, so there's a few others that are in there like that, Bill, if you look like your question, the fire suppression, the code states that all residential properties will need to have, fire suppression systems in the homes. That was the minimum requirement. We're choosing not to do that, and that was after talking with Todd Seaworth, he was okay with that. Not forcing any new house that is built to have a fire suppression system in it. I think the cost would drive up the home cost a little bit too much. None of our neighboring towns are doing it, nor are they choosing to do it unless they're forced to do it at some point because they missed it or something. But I'd like to stay competitive and bring people to the community and not overprice our homes. Or, I mean, if someone wants it, they're welcome to put it in their house. We're not preventing them. Yeah, if they want to put it in, they can. It's just up to them and their builder if they choose. to do
Okay,
that.
but the difference between the fire suppression and the smoke detectors,
Smoke
Can-
detectors
can
are
be-
an alarm. The suppression is sprinkler heads.
Right,
Or
that-
some
right,
type of
right, right.
chemical that's sprayed on,
Correct.
like in the kitchen or something like that when the fire has happened. That's
We've
the
got
difference.
that mandatory
One puts
for
it
all
out,
businesses.
one just lets you know.
Yeah, we've got that mandatory as far as I know.
Yeah, the
For
smoke
the
alarms are
businesses,
changing.
that-
That's
that's
something
all
that's
taken care of.
forever, ever, like, I don't know why anyone would want to
Yeah.
take that way, so. You need a warning system of some type.
Can you just send out the change, the ones that we changed?
That was a big one, and then the other were the 5 that are on our website, the main ones that we turned the verbiage into, following and contacting us.
Where do I find it? I just
So-
haven't seen it there.
On our website, I think it's the pool, there's a fence
you
one,
move
there's a couple.
On the from main page.
I don't know,
and
remember.
move down to the bottom right, I believe it's
Yeah, davisjunction.com, and then
Alright.
I think there's a drop-down
I'm
menu.
fine,
that
I just
it
wanna
says
know where they are.
ordinances, and
The
then,
lower right says ordinances. If you click on that, it'll take you through to Muni code. On the left-hand side, there's a column that says building codes or building.
Yeah.
And then just click on there and they're all there.
And
Th-
it'll tell
those
you
are
the
the
ones
ones
that
that we
we're
were changing.
opting out of.
It'll tell you the ones that we currently have existing that are changed.
and we're sticking with
That we
something very
currently
similar
have
to those.
existing. So it'll show you what we currently have existing and our current exemptions from those codes. So some of these exemptions match the exemptions we currently have for
Okay,
those codes.
All right, so that's more of what I'm looking for.
Yes, so
Okay.
you can go see what codes we
Alright.
currently have adopted and the exemptions that are
Alright.
missing from them.
Thank you. That's good for me.
And you're saying the state is using 2014 if a municipality elects to do that?
Know that,
Oh.
said that during the meeting.
Oh.
I don't know that. I assumed they would force us to the newest code.
My
but-
understanding after the first of the year, it was supposed to go, or, well, coming shortly, it was gonna jump to the 2024 codes. But I don't know that for
I don't
certain.
know if the state legislator mandated what year.
There was something that,
I
in the
don't know
most
what
recent,
year
it was
the
gonna
state
jump to,
legislator
so yeah,
mandated
but I
it.
mean, currently we're in 2006. So we, I mean, we're 18 years behind the
Yeah.
ball here right now. We need to,
Sooner or later,
is
they're gonna,
2021.
yeah, we're at a point now where they're gonna force us to adopt.
sooner or
it.
later, they
So-
will force you to
And-
adopt something.
Like I said, we're not really changing a lot of them. There's like the 5 that are on our website and then the fire suppression thing. That's all that we're changing from
All
the
right,
state stuff. It's not, and most of it is more of a verbiage, so that way they come and contact us, and so that way they follow the processes we need them to follow.
And we've adopted something newer and that we hadn't.
They're slightly changed, yeah.
You need 2 more weeks on this?
I don't-
well, you can send them. I mean, what, maybe we should ask everybody. I don't have a.
Well, Chris says, yeah, so we're
I
all
don't
good,
have a
right?
problem with that.
We're just waiting for your answer.
Is the sending them actually adopting them? You just said you didn't have to do it.
Send them, and then you want major changes, we have to resend
Send.
them, and I don't send them, so we pay somebody to send them.
I'm not gonna ask for
No.
major changes. I mean, either,
But
I just wanna read what they have, that's all, so that if somebody.
Put it up to these.
It's gonna say, is 2 weeks gonna hurt anything?
No, doesn't bother me.
Chris time.
Is this count as progress, as making progress to addressing it? So that's all that really matters.
Well, are we sending it in? Is that what we just agreed to?
No, we
No.
need to wait 2 more weeks, because that way, if he does have any, we can't have drastic changes.
Does
Okay,
anybody
I'm
else
gonna
have
do it.
questions or wanna read it over, or do you?
What a lot
or
of
do you
people,
care? Huh?
yeah, Chris, what a lot of people don't understand about codes, whether they're fire or building, electrical and that, is that a lot of basis for these things are all based on science and chemistry. And that's where the state tries to clarify a lot of things, and they try to give us latitude where they can. And also the insurance companies have something to say about some things that are risky. And I've learned this by all the times I've had to testify in court, as an officer of the court, as a police officer, and ordinance codes violations and fires and stuff like that. And this is where you get a better understanding, even though it's difficult to understand some of these professors and doctors and specialists when they say things. But that's why I have a lot of respect for the people who do the build the code enforcement, especially where safety is involved. And I think your concern is validated. is valid. And, it's just one of the things that, we may at times have the, chance to restrict or lower the speed limit for certain reasons, but we can't raise the speed limit above what the state is. That's the example of what I'm saying with these codes. You understand, what I'm saying on that. And, that's why I'd certainly like to, participate in stuff like this. It's not, people just, trying to say and do things without, science and statistics, behind it. So, anyway, I'd like to be there, so please,
We don't
I'd
have
like
any
to
more
give you,
meetings At
yeah,
this point, I mean, if you have any questions, I mean, feel free to reach out to
Yeah.
BNF.
yeah.
I mean, you can have all your clarity you needed if you want
Mhm.
to talk to
Yeah.
Mr.
Well, yeah.
Bigelow.
Yeah, I know.
Past that, I mean, all I can ask you to do is maybe read the ordinances and figure out the science for yourself.
Yeah.
And If you like it that way, then just next 2 weeks from now, just approve it, so.
Read over all these.
I mean, yeah, I'm not, it's transparent, it's in the thing and you can look it over if you need to, so. I mean, I thought that's what we were doing after the
Yeah.
last 2
I
weeks.
did, I Googled it, read it,
Okay.
it was a lot.
Well,
It is a lot.
I read our
That's why it's taken me quite a few months to get through it all, so it's, I mean, but.
I
mean,
looked
and
at
I'm
our
not trying to-
packet.
Again, I'm not trying to hold you out.
No,
You've
I
been kept in
understand.
the loop, minus when the meeting was, so. I mean, if you wanted to be, you could have reached out to me anytime to get yourself on here a little.
Well, let
bit.
me know what, if it's possible that,
There's nothing
when
else
you're
that-
gonna have,
Everything's done for me right now. The only thing that we need is an approval here, so we can send it downstate. So if there's anything that you have questions on, then you would need to figure out from BNF or myself to do
Yeah,
that.
well, you
When do
should
we have
read
to
them,
have
you
this
should
downstate?
first read them, Bill, and then
Pardon me?
contact, you should read them over.
yeah,
and then
I've
contact
seen them.
somebody.
It's a lot. I
All
looked at 'em.
So you don't know about- No.
Everybody go with 2 weeks?
Long read.
People that read more? Good, then we're moving on. Anything further, Nathan?
No, I think we're, just, stuff going on in the park's been great. We're still waiting on everything to be finalized and the next phase to be agreed upon, so. The little comment spot looks great with some pretty flowers that are coming up over there, so hopefully that continues to come in and look better, so that's about it. Corn ribs that went in, right? So, or fish cribs, I call them corn cribs, fish cribs went in, right?
Not yet.
Not yet, but fish cribs are going in soon. So,
Brett, do you have anything?
The only thing I've got, which kind of streets and utilities is, not sure if everyone was aware, but we did put $200,000 in the budget for a new service truck. We are working on that as we speak. We've found a couple of options ranging anywhere from 200-ish to 215. That is without a trade-in or sale of our current one. So just letting everyone know that you might be seeing something here shortly on a new service truck. But
You told me 184.
there was no way I could ever have an actual price until we.
Not
started looking at
you.
it. Oh. So
And whose service truck is it replacing?
The bucket.
it's the bucket truck, our service truck.
The one that Brent drives?
Correct, correct.
Can I ask a question? Is there any value left in that truck?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
well, there's always value, I mean.
Yeah.
Runs and drives.
It's a lot of metal.
It really depends.
If it runs and drives, then why are we getting rid of it?
It's,
It is,
So
For a small town that has a very
Expensive.
one side of town.
it's starting to nickel and dime us quite heavily. So the rust has taken over. It's time. I mean, I guess it was bought used.
Yep.
It's an 06, 05, 06. So,
doing away with all those 06s.
yeah. it's-
Can't you go one more year, make it 20 years old?
If you like, the value drops, but if you'd like, Chris, we can.
It's a 20-year-old
So-
international. You're.
It's, yeah, it's time.
We can
It's time.
inflate it as a plastic.
Plus, there's a lot of small companies out there.
It's a good point. So, anyway, just wanted to let everyone know that that is being worked on and probably be seeing something here soon.
Anything further, John?
No,
Patrick?
I have nothing unless Brett has anything.
The only thing, we're still working on the filter project, dealing with Willett Hoffman, talking with Water Surplus. Brenda, if she hasn't already, we should be seeing the contract here soon. And then Willett Hoffman is working on a materials list because there is going to be stuff we have to purchase to be able to put water up in the tower. So there's a lot of moving parts to this project. So we're just continuing with that.
Unfinished business.
We're still talking LR Communications.
Yeah, we're gonna have another chat with him probably in the next week. He's curious why I didn't like their proposals, so. So apparently I have to explain
I
myself.
thought you made it pretty clear.
I thought I did too. I even gave them little points of things I wanted, but it wasn't enough, so now they wanna sit down because they, I don't know.
Their lease is coming.
All good.
soon, so-
Yeah, they need to finish it up soon, so he is active and he is engaged with us. I just don't know how more I need to say or do or explain, so. But that's big, hopefully we'll have more in soon. But I'm not holding my breath.
Public?
Usually it's my father who's here. Here on behalf of the Old County Fair. We usually borrow the generator from you guys. Dates are July 26th to August 4th for the fair. We use it out at our campsite because our campsite is extremely outdated for half these campers that show up that are huge. We're wondering if we're able to borrow it again for those dates.
Should be good to go.
Huh?
What are the dates again?
July 26th, evening time to pick up, and then August 4th would be evening time drop off.
Yep, shouldn't be a problem.
Sweet. I appreciate that.
Board okay with that?
Yes.
Perfect.
If you could just let me know a week or two in advance that way, because
Yeah.
we always, we'll make sure everything's good to go. We do anyway, because it's our generator, but just,
Yep, I'll grab your phone number once you're done, because I don't have any of that stuff, because I'm new to the board at the fair, so.
Yep.
I'll get that and then I'll let you know about 2 weeks. 2 weeks sound about
that
good
sounds
then?
fine.
Sweet, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
Anything further with any of the board members or employees? John makes a motion to adjourn, Patrick seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Opposed for adjourned at 7:38.